If Google search wasn't putting this guy's video high in the search engine under my name, I'd just ignore this idiot DeadwingDork. If the Google search engine accurately indicates what people are interested in, then it indicates planet Earth is infested with retards. However, judging by how Google search treats Tulsi Gabbard, I suspect Lori McBride and her retard and vile Jesuits are running Google. Now, it's possible it might be a situation similar to Twitter, where I think Jack Dorsey's trying to run Twitter, but Lori may have replaced Dorsey with his clone, and she's got the clone running Twitter. So I will say this in Google's favor. I suspect that they want to run Google, but maybe they can't. Maybe Lori won't let them. She might have a clone takeover there at Google, like I suspect she's got at Twitter. Anyways, the problem is Google is not being run by a decent, intelligent person. It's being run by, I suspect, Lori McBride and her retard and vile Jesuits. So with a sociopath narcissist running Google, in other words, Lori McBride and possibly Melania Trump, you can't expect Google to treat anything truly intelligent and sane with respect. But I listened to this guy's boring rants about my novel Silver Skies, which is a book I'm currently rewriting to be more true to its original 1990s version. First off, I'd like to state that this guy who calls himself Dork, DeadwingDork, I'd like to state he admits arrogantly that he's never read the book. And I'm currently rewriting it to make it more true to its original 1990s version. I suspect he's getting secret money under the table to help out Lori McBride's propaganda campaign against me. He's obviously not a writer and seems to be proud of his literary ignorance. He doesn't attract an intelligent audience. So those who listen to him with interest share his shallowness and stupidity. I wrote the book from Silver Skies from 1993 to 1996, and it's a Christian fantasy novel. He doesn't seem to realize that I wrote a fantasy. So he spends all his time making fun of the world I created, comparing it to reality, not understanding that it's a fantasy novel. He's really, so I wrote a Christian fantasy novel where I create a pre-tribulation Earth as a story world. Even though it's a fantasy novel, I do believe that this book is going to be prophetic. In other words, I think things are going to pan out just as the plot unfolds in my novel. I think it's going to pan out in the future. People in the future are going to pick up Silver Skies and read it and think, wow, this woman's a prophet. Yeah, I wrote it in the 1990s, and it's amazing even today how close it is to the way the world's going. So I was probably a pretty smart girl back then. But anyways, I'm getting off the subject. So I still need to write the ending, which will be set in the tribulation. I've been doing a lot of research on Bible prophecy for that. Actually, Steven Spielberg has made a movie based on this book, starring Matthew McConaughey. It's only been shown at select theaters, but yes, it's been made. And from what I understand, it won an Oscar for Best Picture. He's going to say, I can hear DeadwingDork now, oh no, where's the Oscar? Well, you know, with Lori McBride running things, you're never going to know this stuff. She basically controls mainstream media, the internet, and Google, obviously. So even though I personally feel the book can be better, but not in how this idiot suggests, I'm certain when I finish this book, it's going to be a book that I can be proud of. Actually, I write what I like to read, and my attitude is if nobody likes the book, I don't care. I don't write for money. If I read it and I like it, I'm happy. But as I've said, Spielberg's made a movie about this, so apparently I'm not the only one who likes the book. Just ignore this idiot, and remember that's what he is, an idiot. I find his review incredibly boring. It's obvious he doesn't put much thought into his reviews and says outlandish stuff to appeal to a dumbed-down audience that need him to do all their thinking for them. But I need to expose him, as he does appear to be a Lori McBride Jesuit. Take his review about as seriously as you would a retard's review. In fact, his review is so idiotic that about half of what he says is an opinion he forms out of the blue based on sentences he reads out of context. You can tell he reads the sentence and tries to say something outlandish about it, not understanding or caring about its context in the work as a whole. His audience is probably all paid to listen to him. That's how boring and dumb he is. In fact, if he was tested on the contents of My Silver Skies, he'd flunk. He seems proud of his vulgarity. Yawn, yawn, man, that is so common nowadays, especially among the younger generation, the millennials and younger. That it's as boring as hell. This guy he is so boring. The only reason I listened to him was because I'm trying to make sure that what I say about him is correct. And I listened to the part where he talks about me, though I got to admit, it was very hard for me to stay awake listening to him. I mean, he's so dumb, and he's so, what do I say? He's so common that it's just boring. He's common. The young people like him are a dime a dozen. Boring as hell. Proud of their vulgarity, proud of being stupid, proud of groupthink. Yeah, groupthink. He's good at that. Yeah. That's what you'll get with this guy. Stupidity, a retard, groupthink, boring.